Today the Season 1 reveal happened, and a lot was shown, both bad and good. Let's get right into it, starting with the GSK. If you don't know, the GSK are based off the Rainbow Six Siege operators Jaeger, Blitz, and Bandit from the GSG-9 unit. Why they changed the name, I have no clue. But if you've played Siege before, then you should be well aware of their abilities already. The GSK have access to the ADS, which stands for Active Defense System, also known as the Trophy System. When deployed, it will last for 25 seconds and destroy any devices thrown in its radius. This could be deployed on any surface, so get creative and don't just toss it on the ground every time. You also only have one, so think about the area you want to cover with it. And once the timer runs out or it gets destroyed, it will go on cooldown for 25 seconds, leaving a brief window for you and your team to get blown up again. Their next ability is a shock wire. This will both slow down and damage enemies over time if they walk through it. You get 3 charges of this with a 17-second cooldown every time you place one. Now, I don't know what the cooldown is when you run out completely, but most other abilities are around 30 seconds, so we'll just assume that it's somewhere in that range. The shock wire can be destroyed with either one melee or explosives. Next up is the ultimate, the flash shield. This was going to make a lot of folks mad. When you activate your ult, you pull out a flash shield and a 60-round 93R. Not kidding. The flash on the shield does have a cooldown, and it's indicated by this bar here, and once it's green you can flash again. You can also bash with this shield, but I'm not sure if it one-shots. I'm assuming it doesn't for the sake of balance, but as of now that's not known. And last is their passive, which allows them to take reduced headshot damage. This, as it stands, makes a headshot against them equivalent to body shotting. So if you see a GSK operative, don't aim for their head, as it'll only hinder you. This applies to all weapons, snipers included. Along with the addition of the new faction, we also have some changes coming to the other factions. First up is DedSec. DedSec has received a nerf to its spider bot and a buff to its hijack ability. The spider bot's cooldown has been increased from 25 to 40, along with adjusting the spider bot's behavior, so multiple spider bots won't attempt to hug the same face. Nor will spider bots continue to ignore faces they've hugged multiple times recently. I don't really know what that last sentence means, but they say this is a buff and a nerf for the spider bots. For hijack, it's been buffed. The cooldown is being decreased from 28 seconds plus the remaining duration of the hacked skill to 20 seconds plus the remaining duration of the hacked skill. If you're confused, the example they gave was if you hack a mag barrier that has 7 seconds left, the cooldown of your hijack is now going to be 20 plus 7 seconds instead of the old 28 plus 7 seconds. They also changed the cooldown if you fail the hijack by changing it from 8 to 5. Next up is Echelon. And if I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this is gonna be enough, but their intel suit has been nerfed and its cooldown is going from 30 to 40 seconds. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't think the cooldown was much of a problem unless it was a multiple of them, and it was more of the fact that the entire enemy team was able to see you through walls. Being able to see people through walls in itself is already very powerful. Giving the whole team the ability to do that is even more powerful. But moving on past that, we have Libertad, which have received a buff and a change for 2 of their abilities. They received a buff to their Biofeeder boost by decreasing the cooldown from 25 to 20, and they also fixed Libertad's ult so that it would no longer disappear after the deploying player respawns as a different faction. So now, if you place your ult and you wanted to play a different character, that ult won't disappear until the timer actually runs out. And the last faction to get a change is the Phantoms. The Phantom's mag barrier now has a cooldown of 40, up from 30, and it got its health decreased to 400 from 500. The Aegis also gets a nerf here, with it now being able to be damaged by EMP grenades, with it needing a total of 6 to be destroyed. They also showed off 3 new weapons today: the LVOAC, the L115, and a sawed-off shotgun. Starting off with the LVOAC, it was described as a souped-up M4 with better handling and a faster fire rate, but with more recoil and less range. The developers stated that it's a weapon that is hard to pick up, but when mastered, it's a beast with one of the fastest TTKs up close out of all the other ARs when it comes to body shots. Moving on to the L115, it was described as the middle ground between the TAC-50 and the M44 sniper rifles, with its one-shot range being dead center, unlike the TAC-50's lower torso one-shot range and the M44's higher torso one-shot range. And lastly, is a sawed-off shotgun. This is a secondary, meaning we could have a shorty problem like Valorant did. The sawed-off shotgun can one-shot up close, but it was stated to be much weaker than the primary shotguns, comes with much less ammo, and will move slower than pistols, but will also move faster than SMGs. To be honest, as long as this is balanced well, then we can be sure that this won't be the only secondary used in the game. But if it isn't balanced well, We'll be ready to see the sawed off in everybody's inventory for a good minute. They also tweaked sniper flinch again, making it more consistent than what it was. The first change they did was increasing the speed of the hit flinch camera transition by 25%. They also changed it to where the camera will always kick upward rather than up or down at random. And the amount of the camera will kick left or right has been increased by 3 times. So now, whenever you're shooting a sniper, it shouldn't feel like a gamble if you miss a bullet and they instantly kill you. They also did a general sweeping fix to weapons and optic shakes in first-person view while aiming sights. And to wrap up the weapons section, they also showed off 3 new camos, those being Titanium Violet, unlocked at weapon level 300, Titanium Azure, unlocked at level 350, and Titanium Prisma, unlocked at level 400. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna hate having to use the M4 and MDR again up to 400, but I gotta do it regardless. In Season 1, there's a new visual effect for flashbangs that is now less retina searing, but still appropriately disorienting. However, this wasn't shown in the debrief. I just imagine it's not as white on your screen anymore, which if you had that on, there's an option to make it black. They also removed the exploit where players could respawn on multiple devices after fiddling with the copy loadout option in the lobby. To be honest, I never seen this one nor heard about it, but I'm glad it got fixed. In Season 1, Ranked will have 4 game modes at launch: Occupy, Domination, Zone Control, and Escort. This is subject to change later on down the line, but this is what we've got for now. For Occupy, the rank changes are that the zones will be predetermined, which allows you to memorize their location to get an edge on the opponents that don't know them yet. For Domination, you'll play a side of the map for 5 minutes and play the other half for 5 minutes. However, do remember that the spawns can still flip, so don't push too deep or they'll start spawning behind you. For Zone Control, in Rank, you'll now be able to push back attacker progress to the nearest quarter of the progression circle, meaning if they have a sliver left, and you're able to hold out for just long enough, they'll lose all their progress for that quarter, allowing you and your team some more breathing room. And for Escort, it's going to play just like how it does currently with no extra changes. Moving on from the playlist, they also showed off the ranks you could earn throughout the season. These ranks are Bronze, Silver, Gold, Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, and Legend, which is top 500. Every rank, with the exception of Legend, will have 10 levels for you to progress through, with each needing 100 rank points to rank up. Whereas if you're Legend, then you're competing for another Legend spot in the top 500. Also, there are no party restrictions in terms of size until you reach Diamond and Legend, where it will then be a 2-player party max, meaning you can only solo and duo queue in those ranks. They also have it set to where it will try to match parties against parties, but at the end of the day, ping is king, so it is possible for you to play a stack at some point. During this time, they also went over how you gain and lose RP. And to put it simply, the better you do, objective and kills wise, the more you gain and less you lose. And the worse you do in those 2 categories, the less you'll gain and the more you'll lose. But the good thing is, kills and objective player are separate. So if you do bad kills wise, but an amazing objective player, that'll be recognized in the system, and you'll be appropriately awarded for your efforts. And for the main reason most people play ranked, the rewards. We'll be getting the paintball skin line in Season 1, and when you unlock it, you keep it. So you have to worry about losing it if you end up de-ranking out of that specific rank. But if you're top 500, you will have to worry about it, since you have to end the top 500 to get access to that weapon. Now, as always, with games that have ranked rewards and good rewards at the very top, it's gonna come with hackers. So I don't say this to discourage you, but it's possible that you might see a few. Just know the developers are staying on top of it. Anti-cheat is not as easy as it seems. We'll also be getting 2 new game modes in Season 1. These game modes are Capture the Flag and Search and Destroy. However, we'll only have Capture the Flag at the start of Season 1, with Search and Destroy coming out in a few weeks to month, maybe, after release of Season 1. The devs said that they want to get this out as quickly as they can, but it's going to take some time to get it right. As you have noticed, I didn't say Capture the Flag was in the ranked playlist at start, but that doesn't mean it can't be. The developers said that depending on how much people like it and ask for it, it's possible that it could be in the ranked playlist in Season 2, but it won't be joining in Season 1. And last but not least, we got the maps. At the launch of Season 1, we'll have access to Clubhouse, a map that is also from Rainbow Six Siege, but with a lot of tweaks to make it fit the gameplay flow of Xdefiant. However, there's still 2 more maps that need a release, but none of these were brought up in the XD brief. But we do know from previous trailers that they will be coming in 1-month intervals. So expect in August to get a new map, and then 1 more in September. And with that being said, that's everything you need to know from the XD brief and patch notes for Season 1. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and leaving a comment for what you're most excited for in Season 1, and share this video to a friend so they know what to expect when Season 1 drops.